video with an update on my cable jumper that I am making out of this beautiful cone yarn. This is my first project using cone yarn, and this is Kariaji 90% virgin wool, 10% cashmere yarn. I am holding 6 strands of it together, and I'm using 3.5mm needles to knit my jumper, and this is how it looks. And I know this is not how it looked last time when you saw it. It is like a complete different construction. It's basically a new sweater that I made. I did quite a good progress on my last iteration of this jumper. So I already had connected to knit and round for the body, and I've already started actually working on one of the sleeves, but like every time I was trying it on, something was off. Like I did not like the construction. I tried to do a like drop shoulder, but I did not want it to be like super big and have too much of the positive ease. So I got my like sleeve somewhere here, and it's not that dropped of a shoulder. I did not like how this like start of the sleeve looked, and like the main thing that led me to frogging this project was that I decided to do the collar like ribbing, and when I was done I could not fit my head through it, which was absolutely beautiful, and the only thing I could do was to frog the whole project. And I actually did film a really quick video in that exact moment, because you know, this is the only evidence that I have that I actually had 30% of the jumper done. So let's watch that small video. The lighting is awful there and the color is absolutely off, but still this is my only evidence. I just wanted to update you on my cable jumper knitting progress. As you can see, I've already started working on my sleeve. Well, basically my main problem is the neckline. I decided to go back and do this like ribbing. I wanted to do double folded like collar, but I cannot fit my head through it anymore. And like there are so many things that I don't like about it. Like I don't like how this armhole looks, and it's a bit too wide. And I don't know, there are too many things that I don't like about this jumper. I'm not the biggest fan of how like shoulder seams look like, so I think I'm just gonna frog it. This is the only thing that I have left to do. And I know for sure that if I keep it like this, try and do something else with my neckline, I will not be wearing it as much because there are too many things that I'm not happy with. So, frogging it is. So, what I did was I accepted my fate and decided that if I need to start this sweater all over again, I'm gonna change the construction completely. And currently I am doing a raglan jumper, and I have started actually from the neckline. So I did the ribbing first. This is what I started with. And when knitting raglan sweaters, I only get the same problem every single time, is that I don't have the front like neckline rounded enough, so it is just like a square. But I'm not the biggest fan of square like shapes for the neckline. And another thing that I get is that my ribbon gets kind of pulled by the raglan lines, so it is like I just don't like the shape of it. Like this is not how I want my jumper to look on me. And like I researched for a bit like what I can do with that, and I think I found the best way like to do my neckline, because look at how round it is. Like I could never get my neckline to be and to look as rounded, and I do have a few short rows at the like sleeve cap, and I also have short rows at the back. And it looks absolutely perfect both on the inside and on the outside. I absolutely love it. This is like the perfect way to do it. So yeah, I'm starting all over again basically. And I absolutely love working on it, as I like absolutely enjoyed working on my last version. But right now, because it is in round from the get-go, I'm enjoying it even more than I did the other construction. I cannot even call it an update because this is me going back to starting from zero, but sometimes this is what you get to do. Just wanted to do a little close-up of how everything looks right now. So this is my front, this is the back, these are my like shoulder seams basically, and look how nice this looks. Like, I don't think I managed to get my sweaters to look this perfect ever, and it looks absolutely beautiful on the inside too, which I really appreciate. So I'm very proud of how it all started this time around. One thing I didn't want is I didn't want this to be like your normal like straight line raglan. So what I'm doing, I'm creating this, it all starts like a subtle shoulder and then it kind of goes down. So I will have this S shape. Welcome to another day, and this day is a sewing day. And I have not had my sewing machine out for like a week and a half. It has been waiting for me to decide to finish my pants. They're on the shelf, and I'm absolutely determined to finish my pants today. Okay, if not today, maybe tomorrow. But like, I am so tired of them just laying around and looking at me and judging me for not finishing them. And the only thing I need to do basically is to finish my waistband. Here are the pieces that I need for my waistband. And that's about it. I think I have just like one inner seam to finish with my bias tape, and then I have like the bottoms that I will need to fix. I also have like a selection of buttons that I think might look good on this garment, so we're gonna see about this later. But for a week I've just been looking at these like semi-finished pants, and I just did not have the courage to continue working on them because there is this thing. So I have these pleats at the front, and in my previous videos I have mentioned that I get this weird pulling on my front pockets where my pleats kind of end, and I really don't like it. And I don't like all this excess fabric that forms right under the pleat, like where it opens. So I was not sure if I just want to attach the waistband and then not like how it looked and never wear these. So I thought what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna experiment with this pleats darts for a bit, because this is the last moment I can do this. Like with no waistband attached, I can still unpick my seams and play around with like how I want these to look. So this is what I'm going to be doing today, and let me show you closer what I'm talking about. So this is the current situation. I don't have the waistband attached yet, but I already have the zipper sewn in, and the only thing I need to do is to finish this seam. And this pleats, like, I like how they look when I just have my pants on the table and they lay flat. The moment I put this on, I get some pulling in here, so it pulls this pocket part, the opening in the pocket a bit, And I have this excess fabric kind of forming where my hips start, and I'm not a big fan of the look. And I have already top stitched this pleats in place, but I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna unpick the top stitching, then I'm gonna unpick the pleats themselves, and then I'm just gonna experiment. I'm thinking maybe I will do like a normal dart on this side and see how it looks. And for this one, what I want to do, I will only unpick the top stitching. And right now this pleat looks like a pinch, and I will try and kind of iron it on one of the sides, if that makes sense, so that it's not like two-sided pleat, but it's only visible from like, it only has one pleat, if that makes sense. So I'm just gonna see how I like it best. I'm gonna do one on one side and the other version on the other side, and then just gonna try them on and see which side I like best. But what is funny is that these like kind of pinch style pleats were basically the main feature that I wanted for these pants, and now I just don't like them. So this is what sometimes happens, and you know what, I'm okay with that. If removing those will make me wear these pants and like them way more, then I'm good with this decision. Hi, this is a really weird angle, but I did what I was planning on doing, and this is what the result that I got. I don't have a waistband yet, but what I did, I basically ironed these pleats on like one side, and for the other side I just did a like normal dart where I mean I did it until like a point where I thought it is reasonable, and I thought like where my zipper ends is like a reasonable length, and I don't get that much pulling on this side, and I still do get quite a lot right here where I have the pleat. And the thing is, I have all of this excess fabric here from probably, you know, increasing the width of the pant leg to accommodate for the pleat. And like it would have been ideal if I could have this dart like this long, but like I've never seen something like that. Like nobody does their darts this long. And like when I look at it from the top, I can see all this excess fabric basically creating this bulging right like where my zipper ends. So I'm not like very happy with that. Like the pleat on the other side, I don't know, looks quite nice, and it is way easier to iron it when it's on like on one side than it was when it was like folded inside. So yeah, I really like this side better than the other one, even though I get this weird pulling right here, but I think I'm just gonna need to basically accept it and go for the pleat. So yeah, I don't know why. Oh, okay, here's how you can see it. This is it. This is all the excess fabric that I don't need. So yeah, the pleat it is. I cannot believe that I'm almost done with this waistband, and I mean look how the inside looks. Like I'm so proud of it. Like everything is closed, the seams are closed, this one looks absolutely gorgeous. And the thing that I'm most proud about is how I did this like waistband here at the corner. Like I could never get these to be this nice, like to look this neat, because like I never thought this step in advance. The only thing that maybe I wish I did differently, but I have no idea how to do that, it is this corner like right here. Can you see how like my waistband is just a few centimeters like longer, bigger than my actual like garment, but that's fine. Like I have so much fabric in here that I don't actually know how to make this work and not like stick out like this, but this is like, I just don't care. When you will see them closed, you know, this is not something you will focus on. So I'm absolutely happy with this. What I want to do now is I want to top stitch my waistband here at the top and here at the bottom so that this piece gets attached to the trousers. So yeah, this is how it looks inside. Not very pretty, but so I'm gonna go ahead and top stitch everything, then I will finish my bottom, and then I'm gonna decide on the button. Actually, let's do this now. Let's just choose a nice button. So here are the available choices. I have 1, 2, and 3 to choose from. This one I think is really like classic, but it is just a tiny bit too small for the pants, I believe. So even though I kind of like it, and this was the project that I bought it for, don't think this will work. I kind of like how this like shell one, this is actually natural like shell button, and I really like how this one looks, but I'm not sure if it's like sturdy enough to work here for the pants. Like I do have these buttons on a cardigan, but there they don't get that much like pulling, and I'm a bit nervous that if I were to use it here, it would just basically break because it's quite fragile, I would say. But I really like the shine that it has. I like this one, and this one is just a bit like funny. It has some flowers on it, and I don't hate it, but I think it's too contrasty for these pants, and maybe this one is my best choice for now. And you know what? If it breaks or something happens, I can always replace it with something else, but for now, let's do it. I love how it looks. It's a few days later today, and I managed to make some progress on my cable jumper, and I actually got to wear my newly finished trousers. So I thought I will give you an update on how everything went, and let's start with the jumper. I have it here with me on a hanger, and I hope it looks good. And this is how it currently looks. So I'm already done with my yoke part. I have separated for the sleeves and the body, and I have the sleeves on just some scrap yarn, and I did around 5 centimeters of the body already, and I am loving working on it, and I'm loving how it's turning out. So as you can see, I have this beautiful round neckline, which I'm very proud about. I would say this is like the best neckline that I could ever design, like the best neckline shape, and it holds the shape like nicely, so I hope it will not stretch when it's washed and worn. And my regular lines actually turned out exactly as I wanted them. So as you can see, they're like S-shaped, you will see it better when I have my sleeves done. But they basically go like this. I didn't want just a plain regular line that kind of goes like straight. So I am really liking how it's turning out. The only problem I have is that I might run out of yarn before I finish this. What I'm thinking of doing though is, so I still have this cake left from all of the yarn that I have previously knitted with, and basically this is the remaining like frogged yarn. And when I'm done, I'm just gonna go ahead and continue with like 3 of the skeins that I used before. And what I'm thinking I will do, I will finish this one. I will knit the body as long as I can get it. I think I have like 10 grams remaining here. I think I will get around like 3-5 centimeters of the body, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and continue with my sleeves and basically have my stitches for the body on hold. I'm gonna finish my sleeves, make sure they are nice and long, and then I'm just gonna continue knitting the body until I am done with my yarn basically. And I hope I get a decent length. But okay, let me, like my hands absolutely hurt from holding it. So I just wanted to reflect a little bit on how this process has been going, because as you might know, this is the first time I am knitting from a cone yarn. And as you know, it is meant to be used on a knitting machine, and this is why it is really thin. What I'm doing is I'm holding 6 strands at the same time and I'm knitting with that. And I have heard in the past a few things from like people who have experienced knitting with cone yarn, and they say that the like main struggle is that because all the strands that you're holding are not twisted like as your normal knitting yarn would be, you might split the actual yarn with your knitting needle. And I was thinking this will be a very big problem, but it actually turned out to be fine, I would say. It's not happening like every stitch. It's not even happening for me every round, and maybe this is like, it depends on the style of your knitting. Like, how do you do your purls? How do you do your knits? How do you like insert your needle into the already made stitches? So I don't know, I did not have this problem. I did have it a bit when I was working on my neckline ribbing, because there I used smaller needles that have kind of sharper end to them. So this is where I needed to like pay close attention, not to split the stitches, and make sure I do have all 6 strands of the yarn on my needles. But that was the only moment where I felt like I really needed to pay close attention. And I must say that I am actually looking at the stitches when I'm knitting. And I know some people know how to knit without looking at their needles, but I'm just not that type of person. I do focus on what I'm doing, and even if I'm watching a movie or something, I will be like watching both at the same time basically. So yeah, this is the progress so far. Another thing I was afraid about, I was really afraid of frogging my already existing leg jumper, because like while frogging I could not separate these strands as they were before. So I basically did it like as it went. So my yarn is 6-ply, right? When I frogged the last version of the jumper. And I heard that people struggle with tension for the cone yarns, because you are not a machine and you cannot hold all of your strands like the same way. Like there is still different tension applied to all of these. And what I have heard that might happen is that you might have kind of like loose strands that would be like this, And this is a kind of big problem because you either need to, like, you somehow have to fix this in the middle of your knitting. And this is not something that I have encountered. Maybe this would have been a bigger problem with a yarn that is not like woolly, that does not have any fluff to it. But because this is wool and cashmere yarn, it has quite a lot of this fluff already, and I feel like it kind of sticks to each other. So I basically got this like single strand of yarn that I could use no problem. So these are my updates so far. I'm actually very happy with how this experiment is going with the cone yarn knitting, and I'm excited to work more on this jumper and to get it finished. And next thing on the list are my finished linen pants, which, as I said, I already had an opportunity to wear because, well, linen, the thing is that like they look in a way when you just made them and you kind of iron them and you put them on and all of the lines are crispy, all of the pleats are crispy. But the moment you start wearing them, the moment you first like sit down in these pants, like you get all of that linen creasing and it just looks different. So I really wanted to test them like in real life. So we went for a quick walk and I wore these pants, and I can say that I don't want to wear anything else but these. I have basically washed these, then ironed them and wore them for I think around 2 hours. And as you can see, I got quite a bit of like creasing where like I was sitting when I was sitting down in these. And I actually like this because my pleats, the ironed bits right here, became way less crispy, and this is how I like them more. So this is how they look. One thing that I have noticed while wearing them is that they are just slightly too big in the waist. I would really like this to be more close fitting. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just move my button just a centimeter, and you know, I have kind of tested it and it will still look all right. I don't want to rip any of the seams, so I'm just gonna move the button a little bit and see how they fit when I do that. But I did not get any of that bulging in my like hip area. Everything was okay. And this is, I believe, 240 grams per meter fabric weight, and because it's not like very flowy, you get this really nice effect like when you walk in these pants, because they are like quite wide-legged. You can actually feel all of the weight of the fabric on your legs, like touching your legs, and this actually feels really luxurious, I must be fair. So I really like that wearing these. I hope I can get a few photos and videos to show you how this look on me. And actually, after washing and ironing these, I do not get the weird pulling. I mean, I do have a little bit of that, but you know what, I'm not even worried. So this is it. I don't know what other comments I have about these pants. I think the only thing is that I'm so proud of how the inside turned out that I think I should just wear them inside out for everybody to see it. So a really good pair of pants. One thing that, you know, I kind of messed up and I'm not sure like what was the problem. You can see for my waistband, like if you look at it, it is a bit wider in the like central part, and it is just a little bit smaller on my sides. Like I have no idea how this happened. Maybe I cut something incorrectly, or maybe when I was sewing I maybe did a bigger seam allowance. I'm not sure, but I'm sure you cannot like see that. You can see it from the front as well, that these sides are a bit narrower than the central part, but nobody's gonna ever see it, so I am very happy with these. I do hope to include some footage of me actually wearing them because they look absolutely gorgeous. I think I'm like the proudest about how the inside of the waistband turned out here at the corners. This is the first time that I could like ever get it to look this beautiful. So I think this is a successful project, and let's continue with the other ones I have in plans.